Okay. I am Dr. Megan Miller,
And I'm Joe Smith.
and this is We'll Decide Wednesday, a special feature of the Do Better podcast. Are we ready to spin our wheel?
Yes, we are ready to spin a wheel. And for those listeners that don't know, what we do every Wednesday is we spin a wheel with random topics that we have no idea of what we're going to say because we don't prep for this. And we both have 2 minutes and 30 seconds to talk about the topic.
All right, here we go.
My drum roll is so off. I can't even, this is why I'm not a drummer.
I don't think I could ever be a drummer. I can never clap with a beat. I have to look around and watch people, and even then it's not good.
So your imitation skills are not good?
My imitation skills aren't great, actually. Yeah. All right. Oh, it's tricking us. Right on the edge there. Oh, good. We get an easy one.
Oh, man.
We almost had to talk about social media, remove and post, and now we have a lighthearted Pepsi or Coke situation.
It could turn into a very heated discussion, okay? By the way, I hope my family is not watching this right now either.
All right. So. As was the case last week, I still don't remember who went first. So do you want to go first or do you want me to?
I think I said I'll go first again.
Okay.
So I'll let you go.
All right. Got my timer set. Here we go. So I honestly, growing up, I didn't really have a preference for Pepsi or Coke. I really don't drink sodas. My mom should be able to attest to that. I was a water guzzler and didn't really like juices or sodas or anything. And my mom drinks Diet Pepsi, so I usually would choose Pepsi, but I also loved Dr. Pepper and stuff like that. However, in my early 20s, I started getting migraines. And at some point in my 20s, somebody recommended to drink Coca-Cola when I had a migraine. And that is legitimately the only thing that can help me when I have a migraine. So I'm going to have to be a big vote for Coke. And it's super annoying because when I travel, a lot of hotels have contracts with Pepsi. So if you're staying at a conference hotel or something, and if I get a migraine from all the stress of traveling and presenting, maybe drinking, I need a Coca-Cola, and they only have Pepsi. I've gotten lucky sometimes where for whatever different events they're hosting, they have Coca-Cola cans in the back, and a nice waiter will sneak me one or something. Or there's a 7-Eleven nearby and I can go get a Coca-Cola, but it's rare. I mean, I only ever drink soda, which also I used to call pop when I was from Ohio, but it got changed to soda very quickly when I moved to the South. But I really only ever drink it when I have a migraine. And I don't know what it is, what's so magical about Coca-Cola, but it can't be Diet Coke. It can't be knockoff RC Cola or something like that. It has to be Coca-Cola. And I get I'll get a 20-ounce bottle and I just sip on it all day long. It doesn't get rid of the migraine, but it lessens the pain. And I do have medicine and stuff I take as well, but every once in a while I just get these really bad migraines where my medicine doesn't do anything, but I still have to function. And I just basically need an IV of Coca-Cola going through my body. So that's why I'm a big vote for Coca-Cola. And I have been to the Coca-Cola whatever in Atlanta, where you get to taste all the different Coca-Colas and things like that. Nice. That was kind of fun. I don't really see the draw for how there were so many people there, but it was fun to try all the different Coca-Colas. And that's my time.
All right, man, that was good. So we had a couple of different people that responded to this debate already. If anyone else who wants to join in, please do. This is a lot of fun. So Jenny said, absolutely no preference whatsoever. Leslie says, when I did drink these, I only drank Diet Coke, but I haven't had one in years now, and that's phenomenal. For me, that's hard not to drink one in years. Vicky said, really don't drink sodas much anymore. Ginger ale at times. That's awesome. Um, I can see the appeal for ginger ales. A lot of carbs in. That's what I will say. And Joshua said, I was once prescribed Coca-Cola by a doctor, which is really interesting. But he said, I thought it was bizarre, but I was recently talking to a friend and he got the same prescription. There's some medical literature on it specifically. All right, I want to see the actual study that was done to see how effective it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Joshua, if you don't mind sharing, what, like, was it prescribed for migraines or was it something else? Because I'm super curious about that too.
And then in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and talk about. Oh wait, Eric said, remember back in the 80s when Coke and Pepsi had big clothing lines?
Yep.
Yes, I do.
And even Seven Up. Mom, what
Yeah.
did we have? We had some sort of like jackets that you could like draw on or something. And there, I feel like we had something from Seven Up, or maybe we just drew the Seven Up logo on there. I can't remember.
Wow. And then Leslie said, Bill Gates has a dozen Diet Cokes a day. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, is it when some people drink like 4 or 5 like cups of coffee a day? All that caffeine. So, I mean, he has to get some like energy somehow because he's running all the time. Like I can't imagine him like stopping to like smell the roses. Like he doesn't seem like the type of guy that would do that. Joshua said, haha, I thought it would be fun. It's for soft food, bolus obstruction. So food stuck in your throat.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I didn't know you had to go to a doctor for that sometimes.
Yes.
I'm just going to have a whole new Google Scholar search to look into.
All right. So I'm going to go. This is going to be really interesting for me. Okay. And I'm going to tell you why. And I start my time. So for me, growing up, it was always Pepsi. Nothing else in the house is allowed because my dad worked for Pepsi. He still does. So my dad would bring home Pepsi, Josta. Remember Josta back in the day?
Oh, my brother was obsessed.
I was too. I love the flavor. The flavor was so good. I'm sure it was not healthy at all for me because it was probably loaded with carbs. It was not diet Josta at all. And I would drink probably 5 of those a day. And then my dad would be like, holy crap, why is there nothing in the fridge?
I have so many things to say about this.
Yes. So obviously, it wasn't healthy, but we kept on drinking it as kids. It wasn't until I moved down south that I was really introduced to Diet Coke. And I didn't see the appeal at first. I was like, what is up with Diet Coke and everyone buying Diet Coke? And living down here has changed my opinion of Diet Coke. If I go north, I drink Pepsi or Diet Pepsi. If I'm down here, typically I'll get a Diet Coke. I like the flavor better.
Interesting.
There is definitely a difference between Diet Pepsi. Like Diet Pepsi is very sweet, and Diet Coke just has a really good flavor for me. So what do I prefer? I prefer the one that won't get me in trouble. So my dad is a big, I work for Pepsi, we buy Pepsi. And I respect that because, Pepsi pays him and, but it's interesting because my wife is a big Diet Coke fanatic and she loves Diet Coke and will only drink Diet Coke. But that's because she lived down here in the South for so long. If you consider Virginia the South, I mean, some people might not even consider Virginia the South. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm like in between the two. I don't have a preference. I know I would drink at home, but I'm going to leave that up to you guys' imagination, and my time is done.
All right, so here are the things I have to say to you. One, Josta. My twin brother, Jason, had a band, and he wrote a song. It was like, Josta for me. Josta for you. I can't remember all of it. It was like Josta,
Yeah.
something. I would,
It's
Mom,
just like
maybe.
mean to like Josta, like who came up with that name?
I don't know. The other thing I was going to say, when you would have 5 Jostas a day, were you not like running around the house like out of your mind? Wasn't there so much caffeine in that thing?
Yeah, that's the thing too. Is like it was loaded with caffeine, right? I would love to go back and find out how many milligrams of caffeine was in Josta.
I feel like part of the reason all of the boys liked it when I was little was because it was like even more sugar and caffeine than Mountain Dew. And like Mountain Dew was like the highest.
Yeah, I love
So
it. That I tell you what, I have not drank a Mountain Dew in forever, and I love it. But the amount of, but I mean, like now Mountain Dew is like nothing compared to like drinking a Bang or
oh
a
yeah, all the
Monster. And
different drinks. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like even coffee now is like it's just like coffee is like side drink that you drink just on the norm. I mean, now we have Bangs that has 300 milligrams of caffeine when coffee is like 90.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I was going to say, when you mentioned your wife likes Diet Coke, my husband only really drinks Coke Zero. So I
I
was
like
curious
zero.
about
Zero's
that,
fine.
if there are any Coke Zero drinkers in here.
I
Yeah.
like zero. Like I don't mind. Like I really like the taste and everything, but like I said, when I go back north, it's always Diet Pepsi if I drink sodas. So
Last question for you. If you
yeah.
went up north and you were like, oh no, I don't drink Diet Pepsi, I need a Coke, Diet Coke stat, would you get like kicked out of your house?
It would be highly like what are you doing? This house is like a cook-free zone. So yeah. But I don't think they would kick me out. I
Yeah.
don't but I wouldn't want to put it to the test.
And I forgot to mention, where did I write down who submitted this one? Somebody submitted this topic, Pepsi or
Oh
Coke.
man. It's a good debate. It's like it's like McDonald's fries or Burger King fries.
Is that
Like who
really
has
a
the better
thing? Do
fries?
people actually debate that?
Yes.
Oh.
Like my wife and I had a big discussion on what fries taste better. Chicken nuggets too. Okay. Do you like Wendy's chicken nuggets or do you like McDonald's chicken nuggets?
None of them.
Now and then now McDonald's have spicy chicken nuggets.
Mm-mm.
So
No.
which one is better? Do you like the Wendy's spicy chicken nuggets or do you like the McDonald's spicy chicken nuggets?
Yeah, none of it. If anybody's watching, if you submitted the Pepsi or Coke one, because I know that came from someone, unless Joe, you and I came up with it ourselves, but I didn't
Yeah.
make a note of it, and I thought somebody submitted it. So if it was you, let us know. And I
Yeah.
know I still need to follow up with Eric, and I also need to follow up with Susan about your swag, and I'm sorry about that. So
Oh yeah, Leslie said, oh, Joe brought it up, I thought. Leslie thought I brought it up.
okay, then it might have been.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
Leslie said Popeyes or Chick-fil-A. Yeah, these are not going to be entertaining because I really don't eat fast
yeah,
food.
like
I have
Chick-fil-A
zero
all the way. I
opinions
mean,
on
like,
these things.
Chick-fil-A all the way. I mean, like, if I asked my nephew, like, he would be like, what? Popeyes? Really?
Yeah.
I mean, like, Chick-fil-A is just, I mean, he's, all right, I'm going to tell you what he says. Guys, this is not me. I have no, no preference or anything, but he calls it God's chicken. But this is like a little 10-year-old kid, so.
Yeah, I don't, this is how sad it is. The only fast food I like consistently and I don't have to be hungover is Taco Bell, which is like the worst of the worst. But my parents had a heck of a time when we were growing up if we were on like road trips or something, because I didn't like McDonald's or Burger King. I like Taco Bell and Arby's, but at Arby's I wouldn't eat the sandwiches. I'd eat the bread but not the meat. It's like the pickiest eater. Anyway, I have another thing happening in a few minutes, so we're gonna go ahead and close out for tonight. Joe and I are in discussions about whether or not we are gonna do this at 6:30 again, or